What's up, everybody? Sometimes the staff become the victims. Sometimes those staff are females. Today we're going to talk about it. I just want to start this video off, man, by saying there's a lot of people in the comments, dude, saying, Big Lance, you looking really rough, man. Big Lance, you're sniffing. Hey, man, have you seen me, man? I'm just kidding, but hey, man, look, to the people that do care generally and are really concerned, I'm good, man. For real, I'm good. And I'm out here today, and I'm like, just so happy to be alive, man. I'm so happy to be alive and free, and just being a law-abiding citizen, and just doing my everyday thing. I try to remember and think about, like, where I came from to get to this point sometimes. And I watched the live yesterday, and I almost took it down, but I wanted people to see, look, I have my good days and bad days, good weeks and bad weeks, just like anybody else. People automatically always assume, people say, you know, man, he's getting high, man. But I'm gonna tell you, man, stress is a motherfucker. It's the top killer of men my age. And it's one of those things where if you don't catch it, you could become a victim. Just like the people in this video. I'm outside today, man, because it's a nice, beautiful morning. The birds are chirping. And it reminded me of a morning one day when I was still on the inside, and we had been outside for rec. You know, we had just left the weight pile. Me and a couple buddies of mine were walking the track, just kicking the bobo, man, like, you know, any other day. A normal fucking day. We were at Augusta. This is where we were. We were at Augusta Prison, which is in Waynesboro, near Stanton, up in the mountains. And these people up there are really nice people that live around this town. This town, the prison pretty much is their thing. You know, that's where they work. And they're just nice country people and give you anything in the world. You can always tell the difference between, you know, prisons by the staff and things like that. Now, you might go to a prison that is down in the flatlands. It's got a little more hood people type in it, man, and you know, and they're going to be a lot more lax on rules. You know what I mean? They're gonna let you get away with everything, but the food's gonna suck. You're not gonna get towels and shit when you need it, and it's all bad. Now you can go up to the mountains, and they're gonna be really, really tight on the rules, man. They're gonna be, you know, real quick to lock your ass up. But, you know, you take the good with the bad. I liked it, this place, man. I was getting ready to go home in a couple years, and, you know, honestly, I was trying to stay out the way. You know, I wanted to go home to my son. And it's still a level 3-4, man. So there's some high-profile inmates there, man. There's some real killers at this place. And when you're walking around an environment like that, and, you know, you're privy to the danger that comes with those types of people, you have to watch every move you make. You have to keep your head on a swivel. I remember as we came in through you come in as tall buildings, tall tier type buildings, and we're coming in through the bottom floor. And you have to go either into your pod that's on the bottom floor, or you're going to go up the stairs to your unit. Now, you know, it's a dangerous part of the prison, in any prison, when you're coming in from rec and everybody's just kind of congregating together, man, because that's what people decide to hit. That's what we decide to hit when it's confusing. And as we came up the stairs, man, I remember seeing these two cats walk into this counselor's office. Now, a counselor, you have a counselor in every unit, man. And these counselors, they basically deal with your administrative shit. You know what I mean? They're kind of like the go-between between you, the Department of Corrections, the administration, all the other things that they don't want to deal with, they put on these counselors. These counselors have a stack of paper like this. Their caseloads are way too high. They have no time to talk to anybody. Now, at the end of the day, they try to do their job for the most part, right? And this lady, she was a real nice lady, man. I'm trying to think of any time I could ever think of her being mean or anything like that, and she never was. She never was, man. She always had a nice thing to say, and she was just real pleasant. And that was her mistake. Unfortunately, when you're in a prison environment, when you're in a situation where there's killers everywhere, you have to be on your, you got to watch your fucking six, man, all the time. All the time. So we get back to the unit, we go take our showers or whatever, man, and we are settling in for the afternoon, man. We're going to watch some football and kick back. I was going to make some nachos for the game with my buddies, man. And all of a sudden, there was like commotion upstairs. And you just seeing a lot of people scattering, the CO's running. And I'm thinking, well, somebody's fighting. Someone's fighting down the hallway, man. We about to get locked down. We're going to miss the game. We had TV in the cell. We weren't too worried about it. And as we're kind of like making our ways to our cells, there's still CO's like, lock down, everybody lock the fuck in your cell. I'm moseying on over there, fuck you. I get in there when I get in there, right? And I'll never forget, I looked down the hallway, and there she was. She had 3 guards around her, but you could see. She had a dress on that morning, and the whole, like a one-piece type dress, and the whole dress was just ripped down. And they were trying to cover her up as they were walking around the building. The whole side of her face was bashed in. Blood everywhere. It's all over the cops, all over her. And next thing I know, I see him drag them 2 sumbitches out that I had seen walk into her office on the way in from rec in handcuffs. I will say this is one of the saddest days that I ever had in prison. Because that was a nice lady. And she always tried to help when she could. Older lady. Decent looking. But just because somebody might be decent looking doesn't mean now the story goes, they had put in request forms. This is premeditated. This was a fucking premeditated thing, man. That's the sick part of it. They had put in request forms to see the counselor, right? They wanted to discuss becoming cellies. They said they had gone through all the avenues and that they wanted to talk to her together. And that should have been a red flag for this person. She should have known. They should have trained her. Somebody should have understood that this was a setup. This isn't the world, guys. You have to understand that this is prison. These are bad people, man. Bad fucking people. I used to be one of those bad fucking people. You cannot trust these people. You have to, I know there's a lot of channels out there that say, oh man, such and such got found not guilty, even though you know he did it. Oh man, such and such got parole. I'm so happy for him, even though he's a piece of shit. Y'all want jingling out here? Is that what y'all want, them type of people out here? I don't want those types of people around my wife and kids. The story goes, they got into the office. And what they had done is, on the way in from rec, that's why they had come in that way, they had snuck in a dumbbell. Because at Augusta, we had dumbbells. right? So they snuck in a 15-pound dumbbell. They're talking to her. She has no idea what's coming. She's sitting there. Hey, guys, lets them in. Both of them in. Both of them sex offenders. Both of them rape charges. Why would you do that? Why would you let them both in? Why would you let either one of them in? She sits down. They said she sits down. She's talking to him, whatever, and they said that when she got up to turn around to grab something out the filing cabinet. And that's when the first dude had jumped over the desk and clocked her right in the side of the face with that 15-pound dumbbell. And she went out quietly. Unconscious, obviously. And as she laid there unconscious, helpless, vulnerable, still nice as she could be, heart big as all get out, country, probably makes iced tea every weekend for the grandbabies. Picture this woman. This is her. She sits on her porch and drinks her little drink and just enjoys her mountain view every day and goes to her little stupid ass job around a bunch of goddamn savages. And she had no idea what she was dealing with. She might have thought she did. But she's one of those people who probably believes in do unto others as you would have done to you, right? Do you think that this is what she wanted to have done unto her? This is not what she wanted to have done unto her. Because it was horrible. They ripped off her dress or ripped it down. The first guy proceeded to, he had his forearm on the back of her head, they said. And this was all in there. And how I know this is that the cop that took their statement works in our unit. He told me all this. Took the forearm and had it in the back of her neck as he penetrated her. And not in the regular place. And he sat there. Because I'm going to tell you how long this was. Because I had come in, taken a shower, and was getting ready to make a meal. This is a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes of pure hell for this woman. Basically, man, they took turns pretty much putting it in wherever they could. Tearing everything up on the way in. Probably on the way out, too. And I know this is disgusting. I don't even like talking about it, but this is what the channel's about, right? I doubt she had much fight in her. I doubt that she could have done anything even she did. These are two big dudes, man. Two big dudes. And watching them walk them dudes out. And the way they got caught was another inmate came to see her right before lockdown because it was getting ready to be dinner lockdown to count. He had come in and seen it. Didn't knock, had seen it. Looked in and ran and got the police. Thank God for her. And that ain't snitching to me, man. I don't care what you say. You call it all the snitching you want. They took her out, took her to the hospital, sewed her up, and she put in her resignation. Obviously, she didn't want to be around us anymore. And I feel in my heart, in my soul, man, that probably changed that woman for the worse. I pray that it didn't. I pray that she still sees some good in people, but I guarantee you, when she sees certain types of individuals, she gets nervous. She gets nervous. She probably has PTSD through the roof. Her husband has got to deal with this himself. I do not believe or condone violence towards women. Sexual assault towards women, staff, wife, whatever, child. There was no reason for a man to do those things to a woman. None. I wish that I could have been there to help her, because that would have been one of those instances where I probably would have taken the chance and just probably took a big L, but I don't care. She would have got away. I'd be all right eventually, hopefully. But it's the penitentiary, man. It's not daycare. It's not vocational school. It's not college. It is penitentiary. And this shit is fucking real. And you kids that are going all around here thinking you're hard shit and all that, and that all the videos that you've seen are just a bunch of bullshit. Every one of us ain't full of shit. I promise you that. There's some of us that are, but every one of us ain't. I can tell you for the most part, you watch any Virginia channels, most of us are pretty for real, man. We're really trying to tell y'all what you got to look forward to, man. It's not just push-ups and eating honey buns, dude, and kicking it with your homeboys. That's not what it is. I need you to understand this shit. I need you guys to get a conceptual view of what this shit's gonna be like. And you know what? The worst part to me wasn't even the people, the dudes. It was that cell door shutting behind me. It was that clank. It was that metal. It was that loneliness. That solitude. That all you got left with is your fucking thoughts. And your guilt, and your shame of how you've hurt everybody around you that ever gave two shits about you. I give a shit about you. You're going to hurt me if you go up in there too. I tell my son all the time, bro, you will break my heart. It will break my heart to see you behind these walls, because I know the type of dudes that are in there. And what's even crazier, I try to explain this to my girlfriend sometimes, my wife, whatever you want to call her. It's hard for me to even enjoy beautiful mornings like this, because they always remind me of some fucked up shit. But I'm trying. I'm doing my best. It doesn't take a rocket science to know that I'm fucked up. That my mind doesn't work like it should. That my heart doesn't care like it should. This is the other part of prison that you don't understand. The other part of prison is like it's almost like a pause, like a post-acute withdrawal symptom. You come home and you like withdraw from prison. You have to cleanse yourself, but some of us never get cleansed because we did too much time in that place. I grew up in that place. I became a man in that place. I became an old man in that place. But hey, man, y'all keep thugging. Keep watching these fucking videos that are promoting that shit, or making you think it's cool just to get some views and get some money on YouTube. Go break your mama's heart. Go crush that little girl that you date. Crush all the dreams that she has of y'all holding hands at your white picket fence one day. Go get married in the pen through a fucking Zoom meeting. Or go watch some poor, helpless old lady get gang raped by some savages and try to forget that when you get out.